What's up guys, it's that time of year again and we're going to be doing our annual holiday gift guide. This video is jam-packed with over 20 items and all of them are under $10. Let's get into it. Now, we actually did a holiday gift guide series last year where we had 3 separate videos and we give away an item from each of those videos. This year, we're only going to do one video. We're giving away 3 items on this one video. So here's how to enter. First, go down to the comment section and let me know what your favorite item was, because that's how we're going to pick which 3 items from this video to give away. In that comment, don't forget to put your Instagram handle so that I have somewhere to reach out to coordinate the shipping if you win. YouTube can be kind of picky about how you write your Instagram handles in the comments, so be sure to follow this format right here. I'll throw my Instagram handle as an example. If you actually put the word Instagram instead of the word handle and then your handle, there is a chance that the YouTube algorithm will automatically delete your comment because it'll classify it as self-promotion or spam. So make sure to follow the format that I've put here and secure your entry. You do need to be a subscriber to enter, so if you're not already, what are you waiting for? Anyways, back to the video. Now the cool thing about this video is it is intended both for hobbyists who would buy these things for themselves, but also this is a good video for you to send to your friends and family. That way they could grab anything off this list and it would be something that you'd actually want. That being said, let's jump right into our first item. Our first item is going to be a blaster. In this case, the blaster corn. Now, some of the key notes for this blaster are that it shoots at about 90 FPS. It looks like a unicorn. The horn is actually where the dart fires out of. When you pull the trigger, the wings on top flap, and it's only $8. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. It is a bit on the more frilly side. But hear me out, this would go excellent with a Deadpool cosplay. Plus, it's got some modding potential. If you brass breach it, it fires surprisingly well. Now, if you're into modding, then our next item might be for you. The next item on the list is going to be a set of flush cutters. Flush cutters are a staple in any modder's kit, and it's good to have a nice pair, like these ones from Out of Darts, which only cost about $4, which make them an excellent stocking stuffer. And they're much safer for younger modders than using something like a utility knife to cut your plastic out of the way. Now, speaking of safety, our next item is going to be a pair of safety glasses. Safety glasses are important for a multitude of reasons. Having a good pair of safety glasses is great no matter what FPS you're playing at. And it's always good to have ones that have an ANSI rating. Now the ones I'm wearing cost about $15, so they're out of our price range. But these ones right here are an excellent alternative. And they'll run you about $8 or $9 depending on what option you choose. You can get them in a variety of lens options, including transparent and shaded for outdoor play. But they're also good to have when you're actually modding. If you're using a Dremel or a grinder or even sanding or trimming plastic pieces, little bits can fling at your eyes. And although the ones that come with toys, depending on brand, are getting a little bit better, none of them are ANSI rated. That's why I recommend you get construction grades like these ones. Now let's get to a fun item, an attachment. This right here is the foregrip that comes with the XYL Unicorn. If you want to see a full video about the blaster that this attachment comes with, then check out this video over here. And this is one of my favorite foregrips that's probably ever come out. And the good news is it only costs $8 to buy separately on Out of Dart's website. And it makes priming blasters way more comfortable. It does require that the blaster has a Picatinny rail, but a lot more blasters are coming out with that these days. So it's very likely that you or the person you're getting this for has a blaster with a Picatinny rail on it. And you don't have to use it just for blasters that are manually primed. You can also use it for flywheelers. Alternatively, another option would be this worker vertical grip, which is only $1 more. And that one's honestly my second favorite one, and it was originally my favorite until the unicorn grip came out. The next couple items on our list are going to be magazines for your mag-fed Nerf blasters. This one right here is a half dart option by XYL. It comes in 4 different colors, including this translucent black here, a translucent brown, a glow-in-the-dark green, and a glow-in-the-dark blue. It also has a lot stronger spring than the hobby standard worker Talon mag. At $7 mag, this is one of the best value mags that you could possibly buy, and they're criminally underrated. Now, if you want to go for the cheapest option you can get for half-length mags, you could also consider these Nerf Pro mags, which were originally made for the Strife X. They normally run for $10 for a 2-pack, but that 2-pack is actually slashed down to $8 for Black Friday, making them $4 a piece. and they were already the cheapest mags on the market. Something to be aware of though is that they do have a line on here which makes them incompatible with certain blasters. But if you want the absolute cheapest option, this isn't bad. Now, if you're looking for full-length mags, there is another option I'd like to recommend. The only option for full-length mags that I could find would be this 3-pack from the Dart Zone Pro line. Now, because it's a 3-pack, it's over the budget, but each individual mag turns out to around $6 or so. And I couldn't find any other options that were less than $10 a mag. The next closest thing was a worker mag, which was $11. And I don't know about you, but I'd rather have 3 for $16 than have 1 for $11. Now, when you have things like mags, you start needing a way to carry them. And one of the most universal options is a dump pouch. Now, this particular dump pouch is MOLLE compatible, so if they have any military surplus, airsoft, or other MOLLE compatible gear, they can attach it to that. But you can also just attach this to any regular belt. It allows you to put mags in there and have a way to carry them on you and reload. You don't just have to put mags in there. You can use this to throw extra darts when you're dart sweeping or a small backup blaster. The sky's the limit, and that's why it's such a good option to have. And you can pick one of these up on Amazon for only $9. And this is one of those kinds of things where even if you have one, you can always use another one. I personally have hooked one of these to my gig bag and to my belt. Now, another alternative to this option, if you already have a dump pouch or you want something specifically to carry mags, then our next item might be for you. And that is the Worker 2-Talon Carrier. This one also attaches to MOLLE belts, but it's a lot tighter fit on Talon mags, XYL mags, and other mags that don't have anything on the side. Although I'm not sure I'd recommend it with mags like the Nerf Pro mags because those ridges get in the way from it sinking all the way down. The cool thing is that this will only cost you about $1 more than the dump pouch. At $10, it is an excellent buy, and I have a couple of these to fill out my rig. Now, Worker also does make a 3-Talon holder, which is a little bit deeper, but it's a couple dollars more, which puts it out of our price range for this video. I personally actually use a combination of 2 and 3 rounds for my personal battle belt, but you can't go wrong either way. Speaking of blasters, our next item is this blaster, but it isn't. This is actually the 3rd annual gift guide that we've done on the channel. And somehow the X-Shot Menace always finds a way to creep its way onto the list. And for good reason. The thing is, it comes in a ton of different options and skins, and they're always adding to the different kinds of skins. And in this case, if you're a Nerf fan, but also an anime fan, then this Demon Slayer X-Shot Menace is for you. Obviously, the highlight here is going to be how cool and interesting this skin is. Even if you never want to take it out of the package, it would make a great wall piece. And because they come in so many different skins, even if they already have one of these ones, it's always fun to add another one to your collection. Some highlights about this blaster are that it shoots 85 FPS out of the box. It can either take the included full-length darts or half-length darts with no modification. And it's great as a backup blaster, a silly blaster for certain kinds of rounds, or even playing a game mode like One in the Chamber, where you need single-loaded pistols to play the game. And at $4, no wonder why I have like 15 of these things. It may be a menace to the field, but at least it's not a menace to your wallet. Now, the Menace is incredibly small, but if you thought this was the smallest blaster on our list, you're actually wrong. And that's where the next item comes in. World's smallest Nerf blaster. There's a couple different options that you can get, but these two options are both under $10, and they're just a fun novelty gift. They do come with their own little mini darts, and although I personally wouldn't run one of these in a war, there are several people who would.
Oh, I got you!
And like I always never say, if it's good enough for Beret, it's good enough for you. Now, all this talk of blasters, but it's time we talk about some darts. For short darts under $10, I recommend you check out this X-Shot refill pack for their pro darts. These darts have a narrow head, so they're supposed to work in springers, and they originally came with the X-Shot Pro Longshot, but now they're available separately in a pack of 100 for $10. You can pick them up at your local Walmart or on Walmart online. Personally, I think they're a good middle ground dart. They're not the best dart on the market, and they're far from the worst. But I do like using them in pretty much any blaster but the one they came with. And if you want to see a full review on the blaster that they came with, then check that out over here. The next two dart types that we're going to be talking about are full-length darts. Now, I've recommended these ones in the past, but if you're already at Walmart and you're looking for some full-length darts, then check out this 200 pack of Adventure Force waffle darts for only $10. It's a tried and true option that's good in most stock blasters. Now, they're not necessarily great for closed breech higher powered blasters, but most of those blasters aren't full length anyways. Now, if you're at Target, you can pick up the Nitro Shot darts. It's the same pricing at $10 for 200 darts, which again is an excellent value. And it seems that they've replaced the previous Chili darts as Target's full-length option by Dart Zone. Both the Adventure Force waffles and the Dart Zone Nitro Shot darts are made by Dart Zone, so the quality is comparable. And I don't think you can go wrong with either one. And they're certainly a much better value than buying Nerf darts directly from Nerf. Speaking of Nitro Shot darts, the next item on our list is another blaster. This is the tried and true Magnum X2. And originally it came in this blue colorway, and it was actually the first blaster that we ever reviewed on this channel. Then they came out with this second colorway, which is like this medium green with like these darker accents. This blaster shoots about 80 to 85 FPS, has a 40 round drum, comes with 40 darts included. It has a top prime and an extendable stock. With the release of those Nitro Shot darts that we just talked about, this blaster got yet another refresh. Right here, you can get that same blaster with those new Nitro Shot darts in this new, even brighter green Nitro Shot colorway. And as per the last couple years around this time, it's gone on sale for $10. And this is one of the few items on this list that really feels like a primary gift instead of a stocking stuffer. This is a large package for the price. Now I want to get back to some attachments and accessories. One of the items that you can get to upgrade the feel of any blaster is a slip-on grip cover. You see, a lot of blasters have a slick or textured plastic on their grip, which is fine, but isn't the most comfortable. And slipping on one of these kinds of items gives you a little extra purchase, a little extra comfort. In some cases, either ridges or cutouts for your fingers to lock into. And what's cool about this one right here is it comes in a plethora of colors. Orange, black, red, green, blue, you name it. And there's probably at least 5 to 10 other colorways that this one comes with. And it costs about $5 to $10 depending on which color you go with from Ares Armory. Now, on top of the comfort that this grip provides, it also provides a little extra orange on blasters that look a little too realistic, like this Diana here. Adding little things like this extra orange muzzle and this orange grip just help it look the least like a firearm that it can. Now, another accessory to consider is the tried and true worker scar. There aren't many options that you can get for under $10 pre-assembled in the world of scars. There are a couple blasters that this actually comes with. Pretty much any of the main springers from Worker, like the Worker Seagull, the Worker Harrier, or the Worker Swift, and probably the upcoming Kuno. But even if you have one of these, I always recommend getting a second one and porting it. Having both of these options has really saved my butt at events when I'm trying to get under cap. Now, having both of these options allows me to tune things on the fly. If my blaster is under-barreled and I put on this one, I may accidentally increase my FPS. Then having this will actually bring my FPS down. And that's exactly one of the tricks that I used at Maryland Mayhem to get under their 120 FPS cap with the Unicorn. And for only $9 on Amazon, this is an item you just can't go wrong with. Speaking of tuning springers, the next item on our list is maybe not the most exciting, but definitely a good performance and maintenance item to have. And that is lubricant. Specifically, I'm going to recommend Slug Slime. It's very, very polarizing what people like to use for their springers, but this is a good basic starter option, and it's pretty good for most springers. It's also what I personally use in mine. Sometimes you got to change out O-rings and other things like that when you're modifying blasters, and when you do, you have to clean parts and other stuff like that, and you need to reapply the lubricants that kept them moving smoothly. Otherwise, you'll suffer decreases in FPS, premature wearing of parts, and some other things like that. Such is the nature of running higher powered blasters. But even on some of the lower powered ones, this is true. At only $3, you could get a couple of these and still be under our $10 mark. Or you could pair this with another one of the cheaper items on this under $10 list, like a Menace or the Flush Cutters, and have 2 stocking stuffers for under $10. Not bad. Now, for the next few items, we're going to be talking about this blaster. For pretty much everything on this list beforehand, they're not specific to any blaster, so you don't have to know what blaster they have. But this blaster only runs about $30, and so I suspect it's going to be a popular item this year for primary gifts. Now, we did 2 videos on this blaster already. One just talking about this blaster, and another talking about it in comparison to another popular item known as the Max Striker. This is the X-Shot Pro Longshot. It's not a perfect blaster, and if you want to get more reliability or power out of this blaster, there are a few mods that you're going to need. Now, the first item I'd recommend modding on this blaster is going to be the plunger tube. A lot of these ones either crack from storage or are already cracked when you buy them from the store, and it can drastically decrease the reliability and the performance of this blaster. And replacing one with a metal one like I have would cost you over $10. But since I got mine, Silver Fox actually came out with a clear polycarbonate one, which is much stronger than the stock one, and honestly all you'll ever really need. And it only costs $5. Now, the next part I want to recommend to you is a barrel collet from Foamdemic. What this does is replaces the front end, unscrews, and allows you to take out different size barrels to more tune your FPS and get a better seal. And a longer barrel also allows you to use any rifling attachment that you want. Now there's enough barrel exposed for rifling attachments to clamp onto. And on top of the reliability, you can get some decent performance increases by just changing out these 2 items. Switch out some springs and barrel options, and you can actually get this blaster to fire at 300 FPS, which is insane. Now, if you do pick up this barrel collet, it is $10 on Foamdemic's Etsy. Now, the channel did partner with Foamdemic to offer you guys a discount code. If you do end up spending $20 or more, you can get 10% off your entire order. So scope through and see if there's any other items that you like, including our next item. Now, if you start getting higher FPS blasters and you have rifling, you're going to want some kind of sight to be able to line up your targets better, because the blasters are more powerful and they're more accurate. Now, if $10 is your budget, there's not really a lot of options, at least ones that I'd recommend. But one that I really did like was this 2-to-1 iron sight combo from Foamdemic. And it's the only one that's under $10 that comes as a pair and not just a single iron sight that I could honestly recommend. For the at or under $10 price mark, the Foamdemic ones can't be beat. And even though they're 3D printed, they do include all the hardware to install them. And they're only $6. Now, we only have a few items left on the list, and the next one is going to be another safety item. Not everyone is using a spring-powered blaster. In fact, electronically powered blasters are a very popular option. And the more power they have, the more likely they're going to be running off of a LiPo battery. When you have a LiPo battery, you need a LiPo bag to store them in. Now, LiPos are fairly safe if you care for them properly, but they're not foolproof. And it's always recommended to have one of these in case for some extreme cases they do in fact catch on fire. LiPo bags are utilized through a multitude of hobbies, not just Nerf though. They're also utilized in drone flying and RC racing because the delivery of the power is good for these applications. Now, not the exact one that I have, but under $10, you might want to check out this one from Z. It can hold just as many, if not more, than the LiPos in the bag that I have, and it only costs $7. And honestly, peace of mind has never been so cheap. Now, if you have LiPos or are planning to get LiPos, then you're also going to need a way to charge them. That's where the next item comes in. Now, this exact charger is the iMars Mini, and it runs $25. I do highly recommend it. It's portable, it's USB-C powered, and it has smart features for storage and rebalancing. It's probably one of the best LiPo chargers that I've ever used, but it doesn't fit our budget. And if you absolutely need an option under $10, then the BR3 Pro by IMAX is probably one of your few reputable options. There aren't any fancy features on it, like storage charging or balance charging, so I can't say I'd recommend it if you're using a lot of smaller LiPos, since those have a tendency to get out of balance quickly. But if you're using larger LiPos or you need something just for now, then at exactly $10, this might be for you. Now, the last item on the list is actually a blaster that I've been trying to get my hands on, but haven't found any of. And that is the Adventure Force Desperado. This is a cylinder blaster that is double action, which means that when you pull the trigger, it shoots a dart, and when you let go of the trigger, it shoots another dart. Now, it's definitely a stock performance blaster, shooting around 70 or 80 FPS, but for me, that double action is like a really fun mechanism that's not super common. And for only $9, I think you or the person that you're getting this for will have an absolute blast with this little thing. Those are all the options that I wanted to talk about that were under $10. If there's any that I missed, let me know down in the comments. Of course, there are things like 3D printed files and other items like that, but I tried to focus mostly on tangible items, since those are the ones people will actually probably want to give as gifts. That being said, this whole video was focused on stocking stuffers or budget items, and if your budget is higher, then there are a ton of other good items to get. If you want us to do a premium Nerf gift guide, then let me know down in the comments and we'll definitely consider it. But that's all I have for you today. Until next time on the King of Games, have a blast.